Hello, my name is Lola Ogundimu.
Dzień dobry.
Neho.
Hola.
My name is Joanna.
My name is Michelle Smith.
Echo Lee.
Ken Cervantes.
My name is Elaine.
My name is Angela Lee.
Fabian Villegas.
Diana Bald.
My full name is actually Oluwafumi Lola Olatokunbo Fumilayo Mobalade Ogundimu.
Buenas tardes.
Здравствуйте.
Ni hao.
My family grew up in Poland.
My grandparents were born in Korea. My parents and I were born in the Soviet Union.
My family is originally from Poland.
Guangdong, China.
Barranquilla, Colombia.
My family is from the Yoruba tribe, which is the largest tribe in Nigeria.
My family is from Ecuador. We migrated to Canada when I was about 1 year old and then moved over to New York.
My parents moved to U.S. in 1994.
My grandmother came over speaking 6 different languages. She's multi-talented.
We're living in a global world, and we want to make sure that actually my kids know that there's other things out there, both in Spanish and in other cultures, so that they can experience much more than what they're experiencing now.
My name is Singleton Beato. I am the Senior Vice President of Diversity and Inclusion Strategy and Talent Development at the 4As. My job at the 4As is to support our member organizations in their diversity and inclusion efforts. As people in agencies and marketers, it's very important that when we come up with an idea for a campaign, a new product, or whatever it is we're trying to achieve as an organization, that we have a full understanding of who it is we're talking to. And the best way to do that is to make sure that the influences from those cultures and those backgrounds are present and influencing our everyday thinking. Where they come from, what speaks to their heart, and that will influence their buying decision making. So if you do not have multicultural people within your walls, you're guessing. And some of the things that we've heard from people for years and years, some statements like, they just don't get it. Well, there's no way to get it if you don't have the right people inside to help you get it. At the end of the day, we know the consumer has choices. And no longer are we thinking of ourselves in a one-dimensional type of manner. So I'm an African-American woman, but I'm an African-American woman who's also a mom, a professional, a suburban mom. There are a lot of layers to who I am. The people in my house are Hispanic. So there is a lot in terms of my perspective and the many layers that help me make my decisions, my buying decisions. And so if you sort of can't speak to who I am and what's important to me, then we don't have a connection.
So we speak 3 languages primarily at home: English, Mandarin, Chinese, and also Cantonese Chinese. But over time, as my family kind of branched out through marriage and adoption, we've actually had a total of about 16 different dialects being spoken. So during moments like Thanksgiving or New Year's, when we all come together, even though we're all speaking different languages, Cantonese, which is by far the majority, happens to be the common bonding language that we use to all culturally connect.
After many years living in the United States, both my parents have been here for more than 30 years. My father still consumes Spanish language media, both radio and TV and print. My mom actually does both, but predominantly likes to consume the English language media because we, as we were growing up, consumed English media, and in order for her to help us out in school, she had to basically learn more English.
I love speaking to my mother and my grandmother in Spanish. I feel that it's a warmer and more loving communication when I speak to them in Spanish.
I'm annoyed by the fact that people usually try to talk to me Korean or Chinese because the way how I look. And it's nobody's fault, but I don't speak that language.
When it comes to soccer, you know, every 4 years there's a World Cup tournament. And I try to equate the excitement of the World Cup to something like March Madness, which is over the course of a month. but instead of there being allegiance to certain schools, it's that national pride that comes up.
My family we're actually originally from Guangdong, China, so my parents did not come to the United States until they were in their late 30s. And as a result, they never really had the opportunity to learn English. So growing up, I actually did a lot of translating for them. So things like taking them to the doctors or grocery shopping or writing the bills for them, those are all things I had to just pick up along the way.
My culture at home is very different from work. We're very much still Polish. We celebrate Polish traditions, Polish holidays, eat Polish food, speak Polish still.
In my culture, I would say respect is something that's very heavily valued. One of the things that we do is we greet our elders upon entering the room. So we'd greet them by kneeling down on the floor. Men would actually lie down completely.
When the day is over, I just get my iPod, turn on Russian rock music, and commute home.
Goodbye in Polish is do widzenia.
Jogi. Ciao.
Adabo.
Do свидания.
Hasta luego.
Zagazin.
Even though in Chinese many dialects are pronounced differently, in writing they are the same. For example, the word thank you, they spell the same. In Cantonese, we pronounce 多谢. In Mandarin, we pronounce 谢谢.